new office ana eyema me Joyce Bawa Montari onu na yakasama for the manager Joyce akwaba
ya dia boko
me ho ye na wo so wo tseni
oh nyame adom enyina ye ho ye ka nyame asebe
anapa Angel FM ni Angeltv 16 affiliate station wo mutie ye radio ndo mani mama wo hefani
oh ye jura on na Ghana bibia inu a ohia small scale miners ewo my ha na no weekend no see a quarter ma habo bibia future folk no ye jumu ho ejuma na during the week so ye shenya me ni ye be ko wa na ya boy bole ewo Savannah region anytime ewo Savannah region onim say the ejuma na sha say an no every day we are in one place or the other but no ye bibia boko ejuma no see ye no kama ye shenya me be ya mai and the me can say Ghana for nyina ehu say nipa baako a ogina mu kampa Ethiopia ne yewura zongamani Mahama ya na me ya adoma me nim say nimdie onyame disensano emma in December so all we want is to tell our message to share hope to market our candidate and our party and to be a Ghanaian about the commitment to our future.
Yeah, we say all we have to do is to tell our message. Walk with message Ben what the nam one a man for no so send one more general.
Oh, message need them a short say what we will say. Message no be to the first one is a message of trust, second one is about credibility, third one is what the options and the alternative is, fourth one is what he has to offer and what he brings to the table. Now we shall Ghana hanyina sesia obia watching oni otache obia watching now we say campaign na your opponent at the bar power now we say almost on the tiaye say ya me lim de omo ntinya nje omo ye bidie but omo ntinya nye ne bebre ehia one of the biggest challenges was the challenge about the economy say idea the better managers of the economy. On that economy, on all the indices, they have failed woefully. Omodi ekrako IMF. Now IMF has some ye se ukaya a day no man can found. A day no man can found okay no foriata and now do down me obia. It can say agreement, any policy credibility I acquire ye idea na obia say they be HSA or maintain that was failing into the idea. Yes, people from that. Now, the people from the buy, who share was setting up a say, they can't have a son. Now, me see, at the time, the NDC a call for policy credibility from IMF. Tell them the state passed to the IMF agreement. What I say? Now, a idea, not a yes, say, the canon I am a basabasanti, not the say, you see. Dum so I no de bia me ka kire na echeche mu say dum so no na nya dia o man penyini John Mahama ana o man penyini Kufo ana Generalist ana candidate then Akufo-Addo na eso a odum like no what you say na idea Akosombo was struggling na under Mr. Kufo omo ko si buidam ni nyina amboa. Now, Ghana, how we had no infrastructure for alternative energy. Nothing. Because the whole time we were totally dependent on Akosombo. Buidam, the immediate say, I'm sure that I need you to be a crowd. And yet we invested heavily in it. But to say, we for no promote since damn no need you to back. You see, idea I was say, and that time, no, I was say leaders, Nina, John Mahama. Say, oh, can you hear some they had in power? You know, you're Ghana. Now, your solution to it, it is still your mind. Can you call off here? You know, who could build democratic countries and send people how they don't fight over them? What to say, America, this is called Palestine, and I this is called Israel. What to say, Trump and Republicans,
So certain issues, you know, nationalistic in nature. Say, you find your politics. Okay.
Policies we must approach them from the position of patriotism and nationalism. What you say? And so doing so, it became a political tool and a weapon in the hands of our opponents. Omo the year campaign to custom that Omo G or mine free NDC energy of Mahama. Now me say, how did it ensure? Mr. Mahama invested single-handedly in Ghana Gas Company. And you know, we're totally dependent on WAPCO. WAPCO see the Omo no more to me. WAPCO see a Nisika no more to me. With the advent of Ghana Gas, one who send nipa the cylinders, Gina Cubium. We who accuse Nibium that. We used to import gas alone over $300 million every year. That saving has come now to the good people of Ghana. Now, share businesses, any Juma. Now, you know what is even more painful? You see Ghana Gas a year and never got any credit from President Akufo-Addo or his vice president. What did they do? Private individual, see Ghana Gas. So, our company, I friend against our company. Now, our company was even set up a private company to compete with a national company, Ghana Gas Company. What I say? Now, gas no, and nuna and net, Namia Yadum are ACSA independent power producers. Are almost my right. For as long as we pay them, the lights for what they own.
So John Dramani Mahama is the alternative to a year memoir. But who make a point to the effect say Adibakwa working here economy is in shambles, is in tatters per your words. Now a DNA alternative, a DNA drastic measures may anasisi ya tu abama John Mahama whatever ama niamanasisa.
The first thing the Mahama announced is that he will prioritize what is important to the good people of Ghana. Secondly, Sika say we cannot even recover our account for. She Ajapa, she PDS, $12 million and counting. She National Cathedral, she to invest in that category. $58 million, my brother. Ghana, we have 30 million people. Who pay $1 MOB? How much is that? What I say? Think about it. Now share all the others. She cannot remain in Ghana. She can't have her crowd. Share private jet. Who sika? $20,000. Share hotel. Who sika? Share sika. Abaya say. Share office of government machinery. We say who call Ghana Gata? CEO no. The family members who come here, I'm over 20. Who they would just have a work or bisa. My mistake. Mr. Mahama Cheche, Mr. Mahama. You can tell. He is a very modest and humble man. Mr. Mahama is not interested in opulence and large living. He is not interested in big, large, fat government. Now, Mr. Mahama buy mu nanka $58 million. Yedi tia nipa. Anka muti chawase motiho.
Joyce, me who news article bia yes Yera your mama say ba a teacher for will be our call the hinterlands akwa chira de no obema 20% a year pay increment. What was a statement coming from him?
You see, mostly I've noticed that there's a lot of this disinformation where they are able to take a context and cut it in a way that suits a certain narrative. What you are saying? My brothers, medical doctors, there were a lot of incentives that were given, what you are saying, to go to other regions or rural communities, because that was always a way to incentivize them. They even got cars, unlike their colleagues who were in urban areas. They got accommodation, unlike their colleagues in urban areas. They got scholarships even to go for further training. Once you serve for 2 years, you then get a scholarship to go abroad to study and come back. What do I say? You see, nowadays, teaching allowances, how much was it? It was about 300 Ghana cedis. I mean, bro, I see a necrom, 300 Ghana, crowd the movie allowance, a bonus thing. It is just to augment what they are doing. What you are saying? In December, Mama say, schools say what rural communities no more break because one, accommodation is a problem. Two, transfers are there will be unpaid. Three, inconvenience there will be unpaid. Now, me see, me of public service. Who confirm transfer pay slips? They even give you settlement account. They give you travel allowances. They give you accommodation allowance until you find permanent accommodation. They give you medical. There are also things that go into it, which I say. So what he's saying is that pay slippy, all the things that accompany a teacher transfer allowance, no, obey 20% additional. What I say? It will be on the 20% of what you are eventually getting on transfer, and it will not be just your salary. And no, there are many other allowances that are accrue to you. So obey another percentage of that quantum, which is 20%.
Okay.
It's very simple.
So not on the principal, not on the principal salary. Minimum transfer.
How much is your principal? You start off from your principal.
No, but may per clarity to the issue.
Yes, that is your basic. And then all the other additions is what you take home. So 20% of your take home on transfer is a lot of money. You understand?
Right.
You see, a lot of our people don't practice in these industries. So when people speak, they know that people don't really appreciate it. So they try to take conversations out of context. When Mr. Mahama introduced and expanded the student loan trust, what did he say? Student loan trust, how much were they giving us as a support to students? It was 450 Ghana cedis. So increase the money they have so that every student in a tertiary institution can go there and apply for it. Very, very simple. Whether you are a teacher trainee, whether you are an undergraduate university student, whether you are a student in any tertiary institution, just take your student ID card and apply for the money. At that time, it was a fantastic policy. The challenge was that the student loan trust fund itself just wasn't working as fast as it should have. What you say? Now, you want school, can I start statistically? Papa. It's a baby who will school, can I say, who can those days, yeah, time, they be an strike. They be an strike. Who beside the chair, this meat loan and buy. What I say? See, me say, on Mampeni Mahama, or Dogana Pa, Nimana Eco School, or Nimi Yefi office. Start a year attack, Sabena, Omoda Hotia. Now we share near Oyema, Ghana, the energy sector, share a power supply. This is how they was the canal to be talk gas, I would hear IPP, sir. Like this, so again, I want me funny. When you say till and Ghana gas, they are exporting gas to Abidjan, they are exporting gas to Togo. That is how we are adding foreign exchange. That is one man's vision for this country, a futuristic one.
Yes, I'm a John Mahama, Melanometua, any futuristic ideas. So
I know that is why he says that we should help him to build the Ghana we want. He will remove ex-Russia for his own appointees, first and foremost. Because but 71,
Joyce, 1 second on that year comment, you know. Meaning so we a lawyer ni would nimumrano. Article 71. If John Mahama says meba meyi a year as gracia for my appointees. First of all, sir, to me no any or no nisem. And per constitutional arrangement, if you don't have power, how then do you say ubeyi bibia who need to me over it? Because it is Parliament that determines a year the gracia of a year John Mahama ni appointees. How will he do it?
Let me explain categorically, say. We've had times when presidents have directed the Presidential Emoluments Committee not to give them any increment. Nobody complained about that. So if a president gives directions and recommends that, look, on this occasion, avoid including my appointees in the payment of ex gratia, it's very straightforward.
When your constitutional duty, and yes, sir, obey me, like I say, and where's our article now?
When it's just our article, it has categories.
The article 71, it even goes ahead to say that the emolument will not be determined to disadvantage them. That means when to make and review the downwards, let alone say obey your floor. How will he do it? I want to understand.
Let me tell you that in terms of reviewing salaries downwards, it is a principle across the world. The Labor Act repeats it. Conditions of service indicate it. but you cannot categorize everybody's income as the same, so that everybody's income, when you reduce or increase, it is to their disadvantage. There is no way you can ever disadvantage a president on any income. It is not possible. It's a rule of natural justice. Secondly, there are many other categories in that particular. Say, in the history leading up to the 1992 Constitution, the framers and the conversations at the assembly, the reason why they introduced Article 71, my brother, at the time, one. Secondly, at the time, not judges saying Supreme Court, no more. High Court, no more. Which I say, sometimes I will do Supreme Court, no way debate 70. Until we see more or time on our coffee. If you remember, those days we even knew the youngest judges on those courts because the numbers were very few. Now we share in recent times work of the Constitutional Amendment Review Commission, or BRC, Article 71, it has outlived its usefulness. Now, mistake, everything you do, benchmark on best practices. Many jurisdictions that used to have those articles, they have since reviewed them.
Joyce, when you saw your lawyer neighbor, don't turn my show into a news file. Be sure you tree empty. Yeah, no, what can you mammy more? Wait, I'm here very particular because I have been very vociferous. We are saying what they could do or they could do news file.
And Mammy Joe, be said, we exemplar. You start from home. If the charity begins.
I know, sir, appeal is Article 71 be year free. But okay, Article 71 a year clause 2 no. The determination of a year president and ministers is not done by president. It is rather done by parliament and speaker. 18 and M1 say a quite banner Jomama before show be
and not a mistake. He would add the president always has reserved the right to make a recommendation that on this occasion exclude my ministers from any quantitative in terms of extras. It's very straightforward. Say the salary be for chief council. Ghana government and someone basic and so much. Chief council as ratio, people are using them. You understand? But this conversation about Article 71, I'm telling you that in the process leading up to the review of the Constitution, it will become a very topical issue. It is a conversation.
I'm sure you're bedding come after even a wholesale review of the Constitution.
And then apart from that, Mr. Mahama and the government, he will run a very lean government. He will stop this practice of buying all these vehicles for government appointees. Ghana government and then under Akufo-Addo, cost of batteries were you not shocked? Now me, at international bodies, nobody ever bought me a car. You understand? And then what car loan who send you? Because I say when I take off a car loan, would you cry and twin tokano? Would you spend the rest of your life paying for it? He must work also to improve on the value of the city. The city is at its lowest, and he has promised. Says our homegrown solutions. No, who can say can for your every office? Now your homegrown solutions happen.
Joyce in the crano.
Now me say, so who will leader who exerts more responsibility? Even if Mr. Mahama casts out the waste on these corrupt practices in procurement. When he said Nanado cabinet, they are just a procurement cabinet. Procurement in Kwan or so service, so single source. As to campaign time, what can your mom? When was the last time you had conversations about anything to do with procurement? We must not allow this inept administration to change the narrative.
We shall not allow the inept administration to change the narrative. Yes, now this year,
between what they promised and what they offered is a very wide gray area. If Mr. Mahama says he promises to run lean and more efficient and effective government, he is right. So ministers may bring CTO. Even more 3 deputies. Now large ballooning government. What is the impact on the society? Chepalugu Dam, I am vice president, now flag bearer, granted an interview. From his own mouth, nobody put a gun to his head. And to think that there is nothing like that, and yet $12 million of our money, 11.9 million, was paid as advance mobilization. What did they mobilize in advance? What did they procure in advance? Where is that money meant for that dam? Where did the money go to? Mr. Mahama has promised to investigate that whole list that we have of these huge sums of money wasted on useless sweetheart deals with friends. My brother, who can buy Brandon C? Occupy Ghana, she did do they branded 120 buses at a cost of how much? 1 million Ghana cedis. Think about it in value things.
But only my debate so I'll think about it now. Me my own brandy. If you record, me see me no be interview. Ne my own brandy me show no with brofo. Koko shopping with English never bra at it. Uchi ni come. No sure the bar.
All the time.
Na brofo na remo ho. They say no every week be no be my interview ba ko say be polish uchi. What?
You must say, oh, I'm sure gradually I'll get it.
But that's be no bre. Bibi and Pacho Boyepuno, and we will get you. All right, Joyce Bawa Montari, yellow and near one Ekasama for the John Domani Mahama, and a chain Comono.